Hi there. Welcome. I'm here to do a mystery layout for us today. So I don't have any intention set. I'm just going to be doing a general message, and what's most important to come out for someone will come out. I hope you're doing well out there. Sending you my respect. Thank you for liking my channel, or sorry, my videos, and subscribing to my channel. It's been really fun, and I hope to get some kitchen magic videos out soon. I have a couple in the works with some friends. One from the Argentinian tradition, and then one from the Brazilian tradition, and then also maybe a Caribbean tradition. Hope to do more as time goes on. So what's going to come out in this mystery layout for someone? It's a helpful message. It's going to be helpful for you to know at this point in time. Actually going to do this layout here. Lots of similar themes carrying through readings, which is not unusual. Although this isn't the exact same, these are just themes that seem to be recurring, but on different levels here. So the cornerstone message for you in the current layout, which is a Tetractys spread, is the Star card. So that's a card, everything you would imagine in terms of mythology and belief and story around something like the star. That's the cornerstone of this energy for you right now in this mystery layout. So it's a message of maintaining hope and continuing to follow your path. And it's also about continuing to listen to something greater than yourself. Continue to trust whatever is guiding you. And when I say greater than yourself, that can just mean your highest version of yourself. It doesn't have to be spiritual. I'm a spiritual person. Most people that are into tarot have a spirituality to them, but tarot is just as effective as a psychological tool. It doesn't have to be a spiritual endeavor when you do card readings. It can purely be to explore your own psyche, for example. So here in the cornerstone is that you're in alignment with trying to follow a higher truth for yourself and to follow something that you're hopeful for, something that you're dreaming into being, right? The star is an incredibly powerful card. It can also mean the heavens, right? So turning to the heavens, you might be a stargazer. You might feel like you're a star seed here on the planet, right? Many people have that experience who are in healing traditions, and they feel like they've been put here on the planet in order to help the planet heal, for example. So it could be something even to that degree for you. And then what you feel and what you know yourself in your perception, in your mind, and in your intuitive body is that there's a balancing or a calibration taking place that's a time of almost like stillness, but the concept being still waters run deep. So even though something on the surface may look still, there's a lot happening underneath the surface. There's a strong current rushing through the energy presently, and it involves entering a new era for you. And as we go on here in this layout, it's going to become more evident to you what that era is for you and whether this is for you, this layout. But this is the World card here. There's a time of stillness while there's a lot going on under the surface to create this new era for yourself. So you could even think of this as like being in a cocoon or going through a metamorphosis. It's happening in the unseen. People are not able to look at you and observe that there's this level of energy going on. Still waters run deep, right? That's the message that keeps coming to my mind that captures that feeling. So, and then what the facts are is that you're about to launch into a new creative endeavor that has a high degree of success woven into it. It's the Three of Wands. This is the facts energy here for what you're, and it's a great card to have show up with the Star, which is the cornerstone energy for you of continuing to follow like a higher calling or a bigger vision that you have for creating a new era in your life. This Three of Wands in the facts position is great because it's coming through. This is like when you're saying, come through world, come through God, come through community. This is it coming through. It's really lovely energy here. Your vulnerability is the Queen of Swords card. And so what that says to me is that you're a highly discerning, intellectual creature. You're very comfortable in the air element. People are think twice before taking you on, especially in a debate or especially in a discussion. You're very quick-witted, and in a vulnerability position, this almost carries the feel to it that your sting can sting pretty hard, and that might actually end up keeping people at a distance. And this is something that you're going to need to take into account right now. It's not necessarily saying that this is a weakness, that you have this level of intellectual discernment, or that you're able to engage debate or wits with others on this kind of level, which is a highly qualified level to do so, right? Like this is a very shrewd kind of energy, but you're in jeopardy a little bit with this kind of strong energy with you in the present of making maybe people feel like they can't get close to you. Like you might feel a little bit icy to others right now. And I have a feeling that it's showing up in a vulnerability position because that's not your intent. You may not mean to be in this kind of maybe darker aspect of this energy that's driving. You may not be conscious of it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That's why it's in a vulnerability, which is funny considering how discerning you are. You may not be seeing that this is, you're coming off as a little frosty or intimidating, right? That can be a mixed message for a feminine person who has this level of discernment. The world doesn't always embrace that because it's not necessarily considered a feminine quality if we're speaking in the sort of limiting ways that we think of gender expression, right? So anyways, that's just a thought that came through. The very heart of things in this current energy is the Two of Wands. So this is like the energy right before the facts here opening up onto a scene for you of a new life and a new era. The Two of Wands is the pregnant moment right before that. So it's the threshold that you have yet to cross, but that you're about to step across. So the energy might feel quite pregnant to you, quite fertile, quite feminine. It might feel very sacral chakra like in that this is about, like I keep seeing almost like a pomegranate or a very feminine associated energy that's very sensual and pregnant. That's what keeps showing up in this Two of Wands. It's not a typical, it's kind of in relationship to these other cards here. This pregnancy with this World card, this Star card, this Three of Wands. It's sort of a feminine energy, the Queen of Swords. That's where it's coming from, I think. This fertile, abundant, card here at the center, but it's not in motion yet. This is the moment right before, so it feels very pregnant, very laden, very heavy on the vine is the energy. And your strength here is the Three of Cups. So you are in a community that feels right. You're in a family group or a community or connection with others around you that feels very joyful and harmonious and uniting. It's the Three of Cups. So that's again a fertile kind of feminine energy as well. This, I spoke so soon, like I said in my last layout, I've been reading a lot for the masculine on this channel, and then it's almost like this layout is saying not so fast. This is very feminine energy coming through this layout, which is receptive, which is fertile, which is moon energy, which is yin energy, right? So these are the themes coming through here. So your vulnerability is that you may be a little bit guarded, but your strength is that you have a community around you can trust. So it might be okay to let your shield down a little bit or let your defenses down a little bit more than you are at present. The Devil on your shoulder card is the Nine of Wands. So it's the fatigue that you're feeling that might be playing through your mind a lot, like how tired you are. You may be a little bit over-identified with kind of this wounded warrior energy. There's nothing wrong with that because this is a successful energy. This is you succeeding in the battle that you've just come through, and battle imagery is indicated with the Nine of Wands. But it's a successful outcome for this. But with it being in the Devil position on your shoulder, it's a little bit like, I don't know, I might get some clarity around that because it shows me a slightly conflicted relationship with that archetype of the wounded warrior. I'm not sure why it's in a Devil position. It might have you a little more preoccupied than is good for you or something. I'm not sure. But your angel on your shoulder is the King of Swords. So what's interesting here is that we've got the King and Queen of Swords. So this might be capturing a romantic relationship for you. And the angel on your shoulder is urging you to stay open to a King of Swords. So I'm going to get clarifiers here, because if your vulnerability is the Queen of Swords, but your angel is encouraging you towards a King of Swords, that is interesting energy to me, and I want to know more. My interest is piqued here. But then the outcome, where the energy is headed, is the Hermit. So maybe the answers you're seeking about this King of Swords that's hovering around your angelic part of you and wanting you to pay more attention to him, you going within might be a useful endeavor for you right now to get you on, keep you on this path that you're being guided on. Let's clarify that though, because I'm curious. This is a pregnant moment for you in this relationship, is sort of what I'm feeling. And the embattled energy on your Devil might be urging you not to surrender. There might be some conflict between you. And the Devil energy on your shoulder is wanting you to keep the conflict active. But the angel on your shoulder is guiding you towards this king and not towards the conflict. It's guiding you away from the conflict and towards the person you know you love. That's kind of what's coming through here. This Two of Wands is a time for you to pause and go within so that you can proceed mindfully in this relationship. But this is a fated pair. It's significant in a tarot spread when a king and queen of the same suit shows up. It definitely indicates like a very strongly connected or bonded relationship. A feeling of family, a feeling of home. This person has that, and you're in a moment of pause before, I don't know, what else? What's important to know? A lot of that came through without having to draw any clarifiers. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. It's a romantic connection. This is a love layout between a King and Queen of Swords. So you're both very astute, discerning people. This is a match for you. The King, for whatever reason, might be feeling a little bit, as much as you're well paired, he may still be feeling a little bit uncertain about how to approach you. That's not your fault necessarily, but it's a vulnerability that you're facing. The Knight of Cups is the energy here about a love connection, but there's a time of solitude still. This is a time of solitude to examine something about the relationship. It might be about whether the relationship is going to be good for you, because here we are in the Nine of Cups, and that can speak a little bit to this Queen of Swords in that you may be reluctant to let down your shield for just anyone. You may really need this to be clearly going in what feels right to you direction. Otherwise, you're feeling like you're better off on your own. That's what's coming more into clarity now about why this is a little bit of a vulnerability. You may be a little bit uncertain about what's best for you right now regarding this King of Swords, and that's why you're being urged to go within. I'm not really getting so much that you need to consult with the king, but the king being in an angel position on your shoulder indicates to me that there's a higher truth for you about this king, that you understand the beautiful qualities of the king. I'm picking up here from this Nine of Wands, you feel embattled by this relationship somewhat, and you're very uneasy still is kind of what I'm feeling here about letting your guard down. You are uneasy, so it's okay. Just take your time, go within. The energy calling to you is hermit energy, so listen to your inner guidance. And you're not being guided in a negative direction with the star here as the cornerstone. You can trust the guidance that's gotten you to the point you're at so far. It's okay to take your time. Just keep going within. That's all coming through. There may be some communication coming or some understanding or a swift change in this relationship. That's why you're being guided right now to go within. So you're clear on what you want and where you're coming from and how you're approaching this. What else? What else about this relationship is important for you to know right now? There's not a lot of warning about the relationship. It's more just that if you don't feel quite ready, that's okay to just take your time to create and co-create with this king the way that you want to. You don't need to feel rushed. An Eight of Wands has a very swift energy to it, and you may be a little bit anxious to have the swift change come in. So now is a good time to be thinking about laying your sword down a little bit and listening possibly to what this king has to say. That might be the guidance. You don't want to be too identified with the battle between you from the past, because I don't see that as being a very harmonizing element. It's almost like that's the caution, is that you stay too bonded to the past conflict. If you want a success with this, and it's kind of seeming to me like you do, you might be being guided here to just let down your sword a little bit. You don't have to put it down all the way. Keep your torch lit. Keep this torch lit. That couldn't be a more beautiful card to come out with the Hermit. So there's a lot of beautiful, meant to be synchronistic energy between you and this king. It's worth the inquiry and self exploration that you're doing, and you don't have to rush that, not even for the king. In fact, the king probably will benefit from you continuing to do this, because you want to approach this knowing where you're coming from and having personal clarity. Keep this torch lit, even though things might seem a little bit unclear right now, or you're still a little bit uneasy. That's okay. Keep following your lantern. Keep following the light that's lighting you and guiding you. Triangulation is impacting the relationship, so that's why you've been guarded, and that's sort of also what's happening here with this Three of Cups. There's a layer to the triangle that might have been instructive for you, or that's been helpful overall, but that's been pretty difficult, and that's what's got you in this embattled mindset a little bit. That explains the embattled mindset. Boy, this could not be coming out any more crystal clear. The swords of your air elements are in harmony, and it's lending a real clarity to this reading. There's not a lot of confusing messages coming out here. It's very clear. stand firm in your center and your truth. So that's where this king is going to have to make his own peace with your discernment and with your caution. My sense is that because he is a king of the air element, he understands it intellectually. He understands why this is happening, or else he wouldn't be a king. He might be more of like a knight, or a page, but he's got a lot of wisdom about this scenario. He understands your need to stand firm in your center and your truth, which is why you're going to need to continue to go within here, to keep listening to the guidance of your inner wisdom and your inner voice, even as things begin to swiftly start shifting in this relationship. This Three of Wands indicates that, along with the Eight of Wands, that there's some things about to start shifting here. So be prepared. It's okay. Just kind of go within right now and enjoy your time of solitude and enjoy this pregnant moment that you're in, so that you can use the time to get clear on what you want and challenge this embattled feeling a little bit. It's okay to acknowledge it. You don't want to throw discernment away. Your strength is the Queen of Swords, but it's also a little bit of vulnerability. You're just going to have to be aware that you as a Queen of Swords might be vulnerable to a little bit of like hard to penetrate energy, but that's okay, because this energy also is so pregnant with possibility and fire that you're not necessarily going to stop it. You just have to maybe be okay with letting it in a little bit. And that's why it's okay to listen to your heart a little bit more and listen to your own inner guidance before moving forward. That's going to be okay. This king can take it. So I hope that's helpful to you. This is looking like it's going to be kind of a nice recording lighting wise. I hope audio wise too as well. And I'm just going to kind of keep trying to do these and see how they turn out. I'm liking how the shot I can get with my tablet though versus my phone. And my tablet, the upload is a lot quicker. I think because it's not doing like super HD quality like my phone tries to do. I don't need these to be that crystal clear. It's just a card reading. Sometimes you don't even need to watch it. You're just listening, you know. So anyways, thank you. Sending you love and respect and sacral chakra, sensuous pomegranate energy. This is beautiful. Beautiful to see.